The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it. The bed is... It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you forever on Feltherre.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the money, baby. For the greater good. For Revacon. Always and only Revacon.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you for a few days now. It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly out of control. the center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse. Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks. But who's focusing on the big questions? But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More importantly, how do you know they aren't waiting for your participation? You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. The most awesome, terrible thing. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios. Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly. La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues, the human welfare index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy. Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority, like a committee. Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinaise. Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves. Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors. Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels. Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated. Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. You raise the peptide bottle, press one nostril closed, and inhale furiously with the other. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and caustic, and stings a bit inside your nose. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow. Your jaw clenches. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start a side investigation into the paranatural. Then build a radio computer. Spring. Everything is clear around you. You're ready to concentrate on the next task in the task chain.
Yes?
You pick over what's left of your frontal cortex, but no compelling explanation.
Yes. I don't know what to say. I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
damage.
Either way, good on you. I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's high time for you to put the bottle away. Sober up. Get back to basics. That would be my advice. And I hope we don't even need to discuss the street drugs you've been abusing.
The lieutenant's quizzical expression gradually deepens into a frown.
So, what are we talking about then? Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? Ah, now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility? Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villeudroit, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion. Now, was there anything else?
Hi again, Gendarme. Oh, a committee. How interesting. And if I may ask, Gendarme, what is this committee about? God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need a little more responsibility. As though I don't have enough going on already. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about everything, you see. He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course. I guess you will. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion. I mean, officers.
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap. No. No, of course not. Well, he's been a little unenthusiastic about the trip. More so than usual. That's understandable. He just wants to get home and warm up.
He doesn't want to say it, but this is unusual. Gary's been to the jungle with him, to places way more challenging than the coast. Why so eager to go home?
Hey, was there...
Well, bringing him that new bird sure made a difference.
Do I have a shaker in my hand?
He sounds irritated.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shake? Because I'm not a bartender. I'm a cafeteria manager. Is there anything else you wanted?
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is that so hard to understand?
Even more reason for me not to serve you, sir.
The man ponders his cooking utensils. The man...
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language. But don't worry, your message remained clear.
The cook is still smoking, ash falling from between his fingers. His hands are large and clean.
Good thing he didn't...
You see a heavy...
I've got nothing to say to you. Why? What are we going to do?
You were specific.
The Union isn't going to... If anything,
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
for the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried.
Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T.
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Another apocalyptic actor in town? This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need...
What's on it? We call it the Dorgun a mega mix. You'll know why, won't you listen to it? You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that. We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes...
You don't care about evidence.
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I...
Yeah, play.
I'm sure we can find it.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugly. Yeah.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Nervous, snickering. There's a rush of adrenaline. Titus did his best, but his men are a bit unsettled.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole Merc platoon.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
He's really prepped himself up for this. He has to keep...
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zilagars. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
That thing has 7 barrels, 1 trigger. You do the math.
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
These people are trained military professionals. Special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or Barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. What do you mean, okay? Goddamn right we do. We done it before. Ain't that right, fellas?
Fuck yeah, we have. Battle-hardened urban soldiers, man. We got the guns and the reserves.
Yeah, we got reserves. We can call in reinforcements.
This guy will be the first one to bail. The room is... Get further in there. Escalate.
What the fuck is this? You wanna fuck...
His eyes narrow. His right hand... This guy's tough. Get the eye twitch. What do you think you're doing? I can do this all night long. His clenched fists say, their knuckles turning white. I'm young. Do not explain or defend yourself. Attack. Good. The twitch in his eye replies. Neither one of us will ever get it off completely. With begrudging respect, he leans back. The room around you is silent. Time to speak now. With...
Yeah, you do that again.
Good one, time.
About fucking time.
You stare at the great door gunner. The tape feels ominous. Upon it, the dead speak. Respect the tape. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewalzund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on its side. Disappointment washes over you.
A scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes.
You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen killed as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused film...
Yes, but... A few bricks of fall.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Very good. That will be 7 real. One universal die for Widow Untethered.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw.
Yes? Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically. They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers. I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Hello again, esteemed. Okay, but
The woman before you scanned.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Was it a good idea on the lieutenant's part to get into this? Don't even answer that. Just leave. You can always come back later, on your own terms.
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
These skull people are more than an authority. They're deities.
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word. They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
Murder?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
Odd. There isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're piss and fuck the world out of some kind of moral obligation. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
That's right. You should back off and let silence.
What is wrong with you? Now you're just empowering these.
This is ridiculous. Boys, do you know why the gang is called Skulls?
Yeah. The skull symbolizes the embrace of death and nothingness, present in all of us. The vehicle of our future operations. Death and nothingness.
They're called Skulls because when you are shot dead in the middle of the street, the skull is the only part the stray dogs want to eat.
Just trust me and follow my lead. No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable. The other one shuffles uncomfortably, nevertheless continuing to steal glances at the lieutenant's motor carriage.
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are. Mm-hmm. What about them?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything,
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And I guess it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What I mean by this is...
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
What is? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, Detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace suspect is the stronger of the two statements. Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your
No, no, no. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. Suggest they're massive skulls. Come on.
What? No! Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up! Are you trying to get us killed?
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
You got it. No need for cruelty.
Oh, man. Okay, I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway. This was stupid.
Fuck.
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you. This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket...
Cold-hearted cop.
The need will not arise.
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
Yes?
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous? You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Yes? Yes?
Everything's...
Looking for something?
Right to work! Right to work! Sure!
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
His neck muscles tense up. The veins on his neck bulge.
Fucking bum. How about you fuck off now?
Okay.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now. The man's breathing. It's hard to...
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. You see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melting skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in. Yeah.
He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them.
what it means. I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here? Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
With some strange emotion, this is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon. At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old. She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God, Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now. Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass.
Something stirs in your stomach. The story must have stirred up some conflicting emotions. The man looks tired for a second. There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless. Odorless. It's...
You bet it was. It's just... nature. This guy, he used to say evil is when nature and spirit meet in the wrong place. No, I was in the domain, in Jamrock, being a bouncer. Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want...
He's under orders, and orders are orders.
Nah, you've earned it.
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
Tequila sunset. Whoop-de-doo. So now it depends.
The gleam in his eyes and the
Booze. Did you... So, have you got anything interesting?
Ah, this is what they use to keep the working men going.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. It did. With my trusty Sansariq tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He's right. It's incredibly annoying.
So I removed the keyring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly. It was a day not unlike this one here. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. Reality was looking rather grim just then, me lying on my... So I made my way across the yard. I wish I were Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of I rang my neighbor's buzzer. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't got... So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like, the hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're... Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, I used to own Now I...
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something...
What? You've never...
You really shouldn't touch it.
Pretty nice.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing 2 jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you...
Wow, you're lucky.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, My agency. Man. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high... I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then...
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I know! It was fucking awesome! Too bad I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. Say, you're a detective. Holy shit. Let me see. What? This isn't my jacket. My jacket was beautiful. This is fucking filthy. I'm not taking a disgusting pile of hobo rags. Either bring it back the way it was before, or find a dumpster to burn it.
You know, despite the guano, it looks like the jacket itself is stain resistant. It may...
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank... Then I can't keep on telling the stories.
As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave. He appears completely at ease, like a common holidaymaker.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no? What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast? Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market, and well, I wish to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it? Yes. There's nothing like a stroll along the coast to lift one's spirits. Ah bon? I'm all ears, officer. My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
God, of course it does. These moral intern types.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez. Of course, we are speaking informally, but officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially. Yes, you've made your persistence quite clear. Under normal circumstances, I would have to insist you go through the regular channel.
No. You can't let them give you the runaround.
But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer. You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol. And listening. It has the most objective vantage point in the entire city. Not to mention a vast array of radio, photographic, and meteorological monitoring instruments. I find it a great comfort to know there are benevolent powers watching over all, in strict accordance with the Wayfarer Act and the Bristol-Mune Conventions. This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-coalition use. Yes, I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it. Unfortunately not, no. I don't have the pleasure. I am merely a representative of the coalition government, not very well versed in technology. But
sounds like something that programmer we met in the church might be able to help with.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. Godspeed, and if we don't meet again, bonne chance.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Trond Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into verbs lately. But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remain. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here. It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet. Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers, they used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombessier d'Insolente. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention. Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien. 10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
He did it. He said, Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced? This is all ninsy-pinsy garbage for sissy people.
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Actually, I think there is. No, it's too much. He's joking.
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing. Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. But so they did. The Felt playback experiment vanished in... Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
2 seagulls circle in the sky. You look up and think, really? Or was there a 4th prototype that remains hidden in the mausoleums below Cold City?
But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that...
He's not gonna give you money.
Oh no, I don't have... I'm just spending time with my kid.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed.
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then. Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Here's a former junkie. I can recognize one when I see it.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that, and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway. No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
You see, a once bright...
Yes, what is it? Yes? Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
Wait, no. That's the...
No, it's not dangerous. Just, I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data stands out. Cold sweat trickles down your spine. This is spooky as hell. Sorna doesn't reply. her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here. I found it. Hold on. Shh. Just give me a...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the... Thank you.
Time for a celebratory drink, perhaps. Just...
There. In the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I just walk over to the circle and follow my instruct. Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. It moves like a goat. The lead programmer. It's time to run back. Or...
Yes, what is it? Craig, everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah, nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to... Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only... Maybe I'm just tired. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant takes a step back, and then nothing happens. As Sona log, she doesn't answer. Her...
Damn it! No, of course not. Nothing...
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something if I got the... But this... You can try on the headphones.
Silence is silence? This can't be it. You should have a listen. All you hear is your own breathing. Heavy, but there's something. There has to be. Ghosts. When was the last time?
Well, did you hear anything? Yeah. No, I don't think there's anything there.
The lieutenant looks down at the floor. Maybe the speed freaks can help you with this. Go talk with Andre.
Do I look like someone who has time for side?
If you want her help, maybe you should...
Hello again.
Hi again. So, yes? What's the deal? What kind of a hitch?
An audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We got speakers with massive low end. There's a good chance it can do it.
We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blast their shoes off, believe me. Goodbye, officer.
This his look is intensely suspicious.
Don't think so. Big bad.
There is fear there, but...
Besides, our own a sticker. You mean the yellow one? Oh, wow. Right on your cop. It is cool, but it's also more than that. Much more. The dead guy smiling. He defeated history. With present moment, or maybe...
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it.
Or drunk. Or in a clinical coma. Or glad to be dead. But
though. I guess one could write an entire treatise on the...
Yes, what is it?
Still nothing. Sauna isn't even looking at you.
Yes, what is it?
The mother of the young man.
This is hardcore. It's hardcore! Skibber.
Your cop training did not prepare you.
Huh? I see you're here. Nah, you heard me. The hardcore...
It's not easy to reach A.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Yes? What's the deal? A programmer? Come on. Feels the love! Get down! You'll get there. Anyway, now that it's settled, what a pity, a shame. Unity! And you can't just look at you. No, if that's okay. The lines at least. Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And
Egghead.
no worries. We'll figure it out. Excellent. Good luck, my friend. He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music. Yes? Yes? What kind of a hitch? An audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blow. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Because it's just the offside copy. Great. Thanks.
Hello, hello. Yeah, we still have those boom boxes on the shelves. Yeah, we still have those boom boxes on the shelf. I doubt it. I do.
No one. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time back.
typical Martinez streetlight sits among the boomboxes wait on the shelves.
A discount?
A man like that in a neighborhood like this, in a rickety house falling into the sea, there's fear in him.
No, not really. Fine. For
success, sort of.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything.
The porter reel is through push, command set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the sun.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still,
there's more going on here than we...
Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work, a village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have... I think we've got a few more questions for klaasje, don't you?
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again. The contrast feels chilly.
Hi again. So, Alpha, goodbye, officer.
Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the internally coherent.
All car! All right!
He furrows his brow.
Hard!
The question is, what is the question? But there was a question? We're close.
True, hard, full, hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent.
All car!
He furrows his brow.
Hard!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he...
Lungs are for love! Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on. Cause I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like...
No nation, but transnation. No war, but class war.
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as fault reading.
Yeah!
Unless you were thinking Revershaw imperative. That's fucked up, man. Lying like that. And he's not a communist.
Yeah! With a rebel yell! Oh sure, I can do that. If you want that, I can avoid taking a stand.
Please don't turn him into a moralist. I don't even know what to say to that.
Aye! It's time to compromise. I'm swiftly moving toward a solution which pleases nobody.
You feel Jermaine Egghead's smile is too enthusiastic. But it'll have to do for now.
Dark-cord hardcore! Jermaine Egghead!
Basically, yes it is.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore. Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
It is, isn't it? But how could it become harder core? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot think what? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
As your mind works, the beat recedes from your ears. You hear your own blood pulsing through your head, nourishing your thoughts with oxygen. The rhythm is familiar.
Oh yeah!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason. The abstract shapes swelling in the foreground have done so in vain. This is a core matter. The answer, in the double kick that moves the milliliters through your mind. The dark thud is the source of all rhythm. The hardcore.
I know!
But there's something else that hasn't failed you.
No! This is the uh-huh. Oh. Yeah!
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every chordate animal.
What? Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from? I'm sorry. I don't...
He feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of the young man falls silent with appreciation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street talker across...
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons.
Oh, I know! St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. I knew that! And the mosaic side...
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now.
Does it? Anyway, that's... Copman! Tape! Yeah! Spins the tape until the space... Alright! No! No, no! This is gonna make people righteous! No! No, can't... Normal! Alright!
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups. It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out as you tap.
No, that's in.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on. I've got...
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I...
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in Central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape. It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to Happy we could help.
Anything else you need from me? One moment. Can you please describe the body?
We suspect he might have been in...
Any signs of violence? No field de top. What about his belongings? Any information on the library? Good. Do you and Lieutenant Kit... I have assigned the... That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? 57.
In the cabin. The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons, just like promised. You've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly. Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM, you tree-hugging pansy. The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. A wintry breeze blows by. The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane, like an immaculate lap, you just can't. The hawthorn, the pain, it is nothing. Revel, yes.
Had enough assaulting my...
The gnarled hawthorn.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you. I doubt it.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the...
Sure, man. Sure. Let me have a look. Another time.
All the old boom...
Hello, hello. Sure thing.
A needle?
Sure, man. I doubt...
The pawnbroker's gaze.
Traffic. I just, now that I...
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
The end, an end. The dark always has its counterpart. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
You see rows of